All right, so here we go. Back in the shop. Safety glasses on. Got my dust mask. So what I'm going to do is, I got a 34 by 15 inch top. So I'm going to cut, these are 6 inches or 8, which is wider than my joiner can handle. So I'm going to end up doing it on my planer and go that route. I know it's not the optimum way of doing it, but there are multiple ways. So I'm going to work on the tabletop right now. I'm going to cut one of those and one of these that are 6 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them in half. That would give me a 12 plus 16. So I'm going to do 2 of these plus one of those, and glue up a top, and then I can trim it down to size. I'm going to try to keep the thickness as much as possible. I wanted 1 inch, but I'm working with 1 1/8 stock, and there's some cupping. So if I end up with 7/8, I'll be happy. 3/4 will work. This is a custom design. Build as I go. So here we go. I got my dust filter running. Got my dust mask. Really clean filters. So up, down. Let's see what happens. Alright, I'm breaking out my joiner. I'm going to join the edges and create a book match set so I can glue them up. Trying to get my edges all the same so I can get a real good clear top. Now I left some defects. On my pieces, as I do have epoxy that I can fill in the cracks and so forth, give it character, add some color. So I am not going for perfection. I'm going for, I guess you would call it artistic expression in how it looks. I'm finding out that making a studio perfect top is not the way I want to go. I don't like that pressure. I do want to make a nice piece, and I do want to make one of a kind. So leaving defects, I think, is a good thing, especially if I can cover it with, you know, maybe epoxy, with color, resin, things like that. Let's see how it turns out. I mean, I have the I got the ability to do what I want, how I want, when I want. So this is me doing it. All right. So I should change these blades. Zero that. All right, so I got to adjust. Doesn't take much. Always got to remember you want to make sure your table's 0 and your fence is at 90, as close as possible. Lock it in. just like that. All right. So. I've joined one edge so that now I can go on the table saw and cut it to width so that to the face, to the edge, I got 90 degrees, and then I want these to be parallel, and then I can come back to the joiner and book match them so that I get a nice glue up. So I'm going to set up my table saw and go from there. Alright, got the table saw set up. The teeth just above the thickness of the board. I got my riving knife in place. It's always important to keep that from, keeps the wood from being pinched, and it reduces kickback. Always use a push stick, never, and I swear by this, is I accidentally put my fingers into my saw blade and sliced them. That hurt, and it caused a lot of fear on my part. So I use push sticks. I never get my fingers any closer than 6 inches of that blade. I never take my eyes off my fingers, and I will not reach to clear anything without using a stick. Never my fingers. My body parts are precious, and machines they don't forgive. They don't care. They'll cut wood as well as bone and flesh. So it does not know the difference. It's up to you and I to be safe. So safety glasses, never stand in front of the blade, so that if there is a kickback or a mishap, your push stick will take the brunt of it, not your hand, not your fingers. So always keep things nice and clean and clear. Yeah, be careful. I already see a problem right now. My fence is out of square, so and a way of checking that is you can always use a measuring tape. I got 11 1/4. Yep, nice. So, always wear a dust mask. You don't want to be sucking in dust. We'll talk. And we'll get. So now I have some good edges, which I look at it, I should have a nice edge, which I'm going to end up cleaning up anyways from on my joiner. So what I want to do now is I want to put these together. In such a way that I can get a nice match. What I would like to do is this. So in order to get this, and the edges doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to trim it. So I'm looking for 15 and I got 20 there. So I will end up trimming this in such a way. And I got 36 to work with, and all I want is 32 to 34. So, this is what I would like. I marked it with a pencil so I know how these are going to match up. So what I want to do is I want to match that, and then I want to match that. And coming together, I should be able to glue them and get a nice invisible seam. That's the goal. So now I'm going to swap over my dust. To over here. And see what I can do. So, battery died, but I got my edges joined, so now I'm going to do a glue up. My pieces they got character. So now I'm going to move things around and bring my work table over so I can do a glue up and clamp up my boards. And then I can start working on the other pieces of this project. All right.